Prime Minister visits Hidden Valley Gold Mine. National Court restrains eviction in Alotau. Sabuai village declared open defecation free.
This is National EMTV News with Bradley Valenaki.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Saturday's news. Prime Minister James Marpe today visited the Hidden Valley mine in Morobe as part of a 3-day visit to the Morobe province. The government recently extended the mine contract, allowing the project to continue. The government says it will push forward with the Wafi Gofu project as the government prepares for elections. The PM spent the night in Buang, attended church in the morning and flew over the mine site in a chopper. He will spend the night in Leh before heading to Port Moresby tomorrow. The Waigani National Courts have issued various orders to Milne Bay Provincial Administration and the police, restraining them from carrying out eviction on settlers in and around Alotau Township. The restriction orders were sought by appointed representatives of over 480 settlers affected by this eviction exercise. The settlers were given orders to pull down their homes and leave their settlements after criminals raided Alotau town and burnt down a police barracks earlier this year.
In a media conference yesterday, lawyers representing the settlers in Alotau gave an update on the court's decision on the eviction exercise on the settlers. The National Court has issued various court orders against Alotau MP Charles Abel, the Milne Bay Provincial Administration and the police, restraining them from carrying out the eviction and repatriation exercise currently being undertaken in Alotau. The restraining orders were sought by representatives of 487 settlers who are victims of this eviction exercise. The affected settlers were represented by senior lawyers from Milne Bay who agreed to assist without charges.
We're not charging fees for these cases, but we're helping them on humanitarian grounds because the eviction exercise, in our view, has affected a lot of people, children who are going to school in and around Alotau.
The settlers were given directives to pull down their homes and leave the settlements in and around Alotau. These directives were given after criminals raided Alotau town and burnt down a police barracks earlier this year. And the directives had the scope of affecting people living on customary land. Compelled by these directives, the affected settlers seek assistance from the Milne Bay Foundation Inc. and the lawyers.
There was a law and order committee formed to try and address those issues. And one such resolution or decision that the Law and Order Committee came up with was to evict or repatriate settlers out of all the settlements in and around Alotau town.
Like 400 odd number is not a picture of the overall population of those affected. It's nearly approximate 6,000 out of the 25 settlements in Alotau town.
The matter has been adjourned to the 6th of July 2021. Meanwhile, the plaintiffs and their lawyers are calling on the provincial administration to disclose whether there was a PEC resolution authorizing this eviction. They say if there is no PEC resolution, then who is funding the eviction and repatriation exercise and where are the funds coming from?
And we're making this call because we know that public funds are being used to drive this exercise. And if public funds are being used, then the question is, are these funds budgeted for? Is this a budgeted expenditure?
The plaintiffs and their lawyers further called for roundtable discussions to be held with the authorities with the view of resolving these issues. They further thanked all Milne Bay residents in Port Moresby and Leh who have stepped in to support this case. Rayon Lakingu National, EMTV News.
The lawyers of settlers in Alotau have appealed to the Auditor General's office to conduct physical audits on the accounts of Alotau district. This is to find out if the eviction and repatriation exercise in Alotau is funded from the district purse and whether this is a budgeted expenditure. They further appealed to the Prime Minister and the government to find out how much public funds have been expended over the last 4 years on police operations in Alotau in pursuit of notorious criminal Tommy Baker.
people may say we may be going too far in calling for these audits, but this exercise involves a lot of money, and we wonder where the funds are coming from. And if the funds are coming from the government purse, then we need to know, the public ought to know whether this is a budgeted expenditure. And that's why we're making a call, not only as lawyers, but as citizens of this country, and the fact that we are taxpayers. So that's a call that we also make into the Auditor General's office to not only sit in Waigani and do audits, but physically go down to the places where public monies have been spent and do physical audits and confirm that those funds have been utilized for the purposes that they were intended for. The next call we are making is on the government and the Prime Minister to inquire into and find out how much of the nation's funds have been expended over the last 4 years in funding the mobile squad operations in the Morobe province with a view to hunting down and arresting Tommy Baker, who is blamed to be the cause of these law and order issues in Alotau. Now, these operations have been going on over the last 4 years. How much money has been expended from the public purse to fund these operations? And the fact that there's no successful outcome at the end, it calls for a scrutiny to be done on this exercise. And the public ought to know how much money has been expended so far. And why is it that Tommy Baker cannot be arrested?
Sabuai village in the Rigo district has been declared open defecation free, or ODF. This village is the first in the district out of 80 villages declared. New toilets were officially launched to highlight the end of a 2 weeks training and the beginning of the village being open defecation free.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The WAS project was funded by the government of Japan through UNICEF and partnered with Anis Foundation and Feedback Foundation of India to implement WAS projects in Rigo district. It ran for 2 weeks in Saboye village that successfully ended yesterday with the opening and declaration of Saboye village as an ODF village.
And now I joined the team in declaring that this facility is open, and also
the Open Defecation Free program is aimed at building toilet facilities in selected 80 communities and 30 schools.
The people of Japan, UNICEF, and Feedback Foundation of India for successfully partnering with us, Anis Foundation, in delivering this project in Rigo. So we'll be here for the rest of this year, and this is the beginning. And we have up to around more communities to cover. We're working in around, we'll be working in 80 communities. So we have declared 2 communities, and up to 15 communities we are working on, and the rest will come through for the rest of this year.
Sabuai village is the first village in Rigo Central LLD when traveling from Port Moresby. That is why people took the initiative to work together to ensure a clean and healthy community.
Sabuai community open defecation free. This community took almost 2 weeks to declare themselves open defecation free. And the good part is that a participant took initiative before knowing us even. He took initiative, he started mobilizing people, people started digging pit, and then he called Anis Foundation team and us to come and guide them and mobilize.
The WASH project funding was through UNICEF as COVID-19 Prevention and Response Program Fund to Rigo District.
This COVID-19 Prevention and Response Program, this is given, fund is given by UNICEF to the Rigo districts for 30 schools and 80 communities to create safe sanitation facilities and become open defecation free.
It will cover selected schools and villages in the district. Alexis Sengi, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. More stories after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Prime Minister James Marpe was in Morobe's Bulolo district yesterday to launch the 9 Mile to Bulolo Road project. The project is funded by the Australian government at a cost of 66 million kina. Bulolo district is where the Wafigopu mine is located. Today, he travelled to Wafigopu project site to see the work being done so far.
Thank you, Yumi. Honourable guests, Yumi.
Prime Minister James Marpe visited the Wau Bulolo urban LLG yesterday with his delegation of government ministers, including Deputy Prime Minister and Bulolo MP Sam Basil and the Australian High Commissioner John Philp. This was Marpe's first official visit to the historical mining town of Wau Bulolo district as the Prime Minister to launch the 9-mile to Bulolo Road project. The project is funded by the Australian government at a cost of 66 million kina.
The Australia partnership invests significantly in infrastructure in Papua New Guinea. It is the single largest sector of our investment every single year, and it includes investments in power, education, telecommunications, ports, water, health, and roads.
Last 10 years, country Blimino received more than 10 billion kina internal revenue. Me repeat again. The last 10 years, country Blimino received revenue from running country more than 10 billion kina cash.
Bulolo district is located in Morobe province. It is where the Wafi-Golpu copper and gold mine project is located. Wau town in Bulolo has a long history with the Australians during the gold rush days in the 1920s. The launching of the road project yesterday aims at improving the bilateral relationship between Australia and PNG to ensure infrastructure development is delivered to the people of PNG.
Now, Mr. La Parliament blo Papua now by 20 years from me. No God one plot time me looking one plot kind big plot funding no some me come. Now commitment they me come. So lo making mouse blow you me okay the people blo Papua New Guinea. Through the High Commissioner, me like talk thank you as Minister for Works lo committing big plot money. The first biggest commitment on a road project, apart from all the Nala technical support Australians are giving, was this year. Australia by funding road, yeah. Talk thank you, Wow Glololom. Kiss him goal, na go build him Canberra, na Sydney Harbour. Now I'm baking the now. Talk thank you, big plan.
Deputy PM and Bulolo MP Sam Basil thanked the Australian government for the road project that would begin from Lace 9-mile junction to Bulolo town, which would be headed by Classic, a local contractor company. The road construction will also cover the Kumalu River that experiences flooding every year and destruction to trucks, vehicles and contributes to displaced villages.
Me like again, lo people of Australia, me like some peace from me plan Morobe, lo talk sorry, lo before time me go finish, me blagat can gawana isanap. Now only sawe make him can talk against him, government of Australia. Now time this play come up, me play looking mosem. Brother big brother blow you me, Mr. Blongway legally you me.
Julie Badui, OA, National EMTV News.
Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika says educated and experienced Papua New Guinean legal practitioners and academics should write more literature to help build the local knowledge of law that best suits PNG. He said this during the launch of Public Solicitor Leslie Mamu's 5th book titled National Court Appeals. The Chief Justice was present to launch Leslie Mamu's 5th book. He encouraged many professionals to be like Mamu and write books that will contribute to the wealth of local knowledge.
The procedure is provided, but of course our people don't know. They don't have the textbook or some guide to assist them.
The head of the judiciary added it was important for the upcoming practitioners and interpreters of the law.
For ordinary people to understand. But if they have access to books like this, then justice becomes accessible to them as well.
Author of the country's first legal dictionary, now Attorney General, Dr. Eric Kwa, was also part of the launch.
Maybe the principles might be the same, but in terms of the circumstances and application of the law itself, very different. And so it's an injustice to our people when we continue to refer to those judgments and trying to apply their principles. It's a totally different. And so I hope that as we begin to see more writers coming up, can be able to have that area of scholarly work that our lawyers can depend on, our lawyers can be able to use.
The new book is titled National Court Appeals and is part of Mamu's series of books written on topics related to the law. The public solicitor, who is managing his own office and family, is still finding time to write. This may not be his last. Atlas Steel PNG has introduced modular building systems to the market, which has opened further employment and training opportunities for local workforce. Today, PNG Institute of Architects visited the company's factory in Port Moresby to see the modular building systems that are on offer. Atlas Steel Business Development Manager Ali Raza Aga says they are committed to working in PNG IA and other development partners to help contribute to nation building.
This morning, representatives from the PNG Institute of Architects visited the PNG Atlas Steel factory in Baroni outside Port Moresby. The visit is to see firsthand the types of products offered by PNG Atlas Steel. These include Meccan steel, pipes, metal roofing and wall products, fencing products and other infrastructure projects. This year, they have introduced the modular building system aimed at providing affordable homes for the people.
In terms of advantages, the client deals with a single source of responsibility. They get a top quality end product. The construction time is reduced by almost 40%. And because Atlas Steel is involved in the project from concept to completion, it makes it very easy for clients to apply for bank loans and their building permits.
Atlas Steel PNG has been operating in the country for over 35 years, and they are the largest provider of steel products used for housing, school buildings and other infrastructure development projects. As part of their commitment to manufacture locally and develop local workforce, they have invested in 3 factories located in Port Moresby, Lae and Tari, and the introduction of the modular building systems have opened further employment and training opportunities for the local workforce.
We are offering 6 different models. Ranging from 40 square meter in size to 150 square meters. We are also offering all these models in high set and low set options. We need around 6 weeks to design, fabricate and assemble the modular home in our factory, and an additional 2 weeks at site to do the final fittings.
Following this visit, Atlas Steel will be working with PNG IA and development partners to help contribute to infrastructure development. They further appeal to engineers and decision makers to support domestic economy and ensure project materials are procured and manufactured locally.
And they were very impressed with our production facilities and the technology that we use and the products that we have to offer. Most of them did not know at what level we can be cooperating with them. So this has been a very good eye-opener for everybody, and we look forward to working closely with them and with the other bodies across the country to be able to support the infrastructure development of the country.
Rayon Lakingun National, MTV News.
The Coffee Industry Corporation has signed a 2.8 million kina contract agreement for the rehabilitation of the Tokena to Parera Road in Obura Waninara district of Eastern Highlands. The contract was signed at the National Procurement Commission in Port Moresby. CIC Acting Chief Executive Officer Charles Dambui said the project is the first for CIC under its Coffee Access Road project funded by the government. Apart from coffee, the road project will also be an access for locals to sell vegetables and access health and education services. The contract is between the state, represented by the National Procurement Commission, CIC, and Diwaine Plant Hire Limited as the contractor. The NPC Board Chairman Kenneth Thompson urged the contractor to work within budget and complete the project on time.
Tukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Shenik Mili is just 13 years old, but she has got some wheels. The young Papua New Guinean is well on her way to becoming a superstar with her powerful dodges and speed to burn. Here is Yana Zoriri with more.
Shenik Mili isn't just your ordinary teenager. The young lass from a mixed parentage of Central, Milne Bay, New Island and Arob has got some serious pumps for a 13-year-old. She is a force to be reckoned with and just played Titan Cup and won grand finals for ES7 and 8 on Thursday. A quick dodges leaving many opponents in shock. She also does some athletics program under coach Brett Schofield from the Academy of Speed. She progressed this year to represent Queensland in the 100 meter, 200 and 4x100 relay at the Australian Track and Fields Championships. She led her team to win silver in 4x100 meter relay, and she hopes to represent PNG one day.
I'm hoping to run in Oceania representing PNG.
With Mom Margaret and stepdad Sean rooting her on, it won't be long before Shenik wears the black, red and gold colors whether in rugby league or athletics. Yana Zoriri, Trukai Sports.
The Olympic Sevens Repechage tournament is kicking off today in Monaco. PNG Palais will be playing their first match against Tunisia at 2 p.m. local time, that's 10 p.m. PNG time. Palais' second match will be against Jamaica at 7 p.m. local time, that's 3:09 a.m. PNG time. All matches will be live streamed across all World Rugby social media channels. With the National South Basketball League tournament making its return this year, the Basketball Federation of PNG has partnered with the organizers to provide technical assistance and support for the tournament. BFPNG will also carry out community programs and coaching clinics to promote the code of basketball, leaving a legacy in areas where NSBL has been present.
The National South Basketball League tournament is scheduled to be held in Goroka from the 1st to the 4th of July this year, as teams from around the country prepare to participate in the competition. With the code of basketball being starved of any major tournament during the past year due to the COVID-19 restrictions, the basketball fraternity will have an event to look forward to. The NSBL's goal has always been the development of basketball at a grassroots level, giving players the experience and ability to pit their skills against each other.
The tournament everyone is invited. All the Sun Islands, I think in Mosby City, Ley and everyone is invited. This is a National South Basketball League. It's not only for Sun Islands, and the invitation is already there. So if you are interested, please contact our team. The numbers are already given. They are on Facebook and also in the media. So contact them and pay your registration fee. We try to promote basketball also in Sun Islands. Apart from rugby league and soccer, they are also big in Sun Islands at the moment. So these are some of the things that we will do after the tournament. We will get dialogue between the two NSPL and PNG Basketball Federation, and we look for a way forward.
The Basketball Federation of PNG has come on board with the NSBL not only to provide technical assistance and support for the tournament, but also in terms of further promotion of the sport through its development programs.
We'd like to also look at the legacy after the tournaments. Activities like the Hoops for Health, Beginning Hoops, Mom's a Hero, those are well-winning awards that we have already accomplished. So with NSBL coming on board and getting BFPNG involved in their tournament, we are very happy for that. We would like to look forward to any other activities that can curtail on after this tournament that you'll be having at YC and NSI in Goroka come July.
Huxley Lovai, Trukai Sports.
That story wraps up Trukai Sports. The weather report after these messages. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Port Moresby, partly cloudy with possible inland thunder and brief showers. Daru, partly cloudy. Kerema and Popondetta, partly cloudy with few showers. Alotau, mostly fine. To the Momase region, lay showers easing to cloudy periods. Medeng and Wewak, partly cloudy with few showers. Vanimo, partly cloudy. To the New Guinea Islands region, all centers cloudy with brief showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Agen, partly cloudy with brief showers. Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg, partly cloudy with few showers. Strong wind warning currently for all coastal waters of southern PNG, Indonesian border through to Torres Strait, to Daru, to Kiwai Islands, through Gulf of Papua, including Hood Point, and central and western sectors of all Coral Sea. Strong wind warnings. Fresh to strong east to southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots are expected to continue for the next 24 hours, causing rough seas. All small crafts and boats are advised to take necessary precautions before going out to sea, especially in the areas under strong winds. Forecast for all small crafts for the next 24 hours. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through to Torres Strait, to Daru, to Kiwai Islands, seas 2.0 to 2.5 meters. Waters from Kiwai Islands to Kerema, to Yule Island, to Hood Point, to Samara Islands, seas 1.0 to 2.0 meters, rising to 2.5 to 3 meters along Wood Point. Waters of Samara Island to Cape Vogel and eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, with waters of north of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf, to Vientiafen, and with waters of Vientiafen through VTS, Dampier, Straits to CSE, Long Islands, seas 1.0 to 2.0 meters. Waters north of Long Island to Medeng, to Wewak, to Aitape, to Vanimo, and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1.0 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, and with waters of New Island to New Britain and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Ocean forecast for PNG areas. Coral seas, seas moderate to rather rough with southeast winds of 20 to 24 knots. Solomon seas, seas slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck seas, seas slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. And the Pacific Ocean, seas slight with southeast to southerly winds of 10 to 15 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's the news, sports and weather for today, Saturday, the 19th of June 2021. Pleasant viewing, be safe, good night.